I know you're wondering how I came about writing a fantasy trilogy. I am a professional writer, but not a writer of fiction or fantasy literature. I was a videographer for more than 2 decades. I produced a lot of films and documentaries and short pieces. I wrote scripts for presentations and for performances, things as boring as annual reports and speeches and presentations. So I have a lot of writing background behind me, but not in the realm of fiction. And when I began working on Charcoal the Elf, I did not set out to create an allegory or a morality tale or a philosophical work or even a young adult/adult novel. The character of Charcoal was derived from some pro bono video I worked in the depths of COVID. As a videographer, I was invited to participate with a team who was producing a charity video called Pass the Candy Cane. The video invited people from around the world to take a candy cane from the left of the screen, pass it across the front, and then pass it on using their right hand off screen. And then these videos submitted from all over the world were spliced together to create a compelling visual. The producers of this particular version wanted to take it a step further and make a fun narrative out of it to attract more people to watch it. The more hits it received, the more money was raised for people who were food insecure during the early days of COVID. They invited me to participate, and at first I balked. I said, this is not something I want to do. I'm not a fan of the holidays. But they said, oh, R.A., you can basically play any character you want. And I thought about it for a moment. I said, well, I'll play an elf as long as the elf can be what I want him to be. They said, well, what's that? And I said, well, I want him to be irascible. I want him to be grumpy. I want him to be contrary. Yes. It was all fine with them. So we began a long day's shooting in front of a green screen where I was interacting with the other characters who were both the producers of the video. By the end of the day, we had created something very different, very unexpected, and the producer, Dr. Peter Escala, took me aside, said how much fun this was, how different this is going to be from what anybody expects, and my character is so endearing in a sort of undefinable way. Does he have a name? And without missing a beat, I said, Charcoal. Charcoal the Elf. And he started howling with laughter. This is so crazy. And I picked Charcoal because Charcoal is the direct antithesis of what one thinks of as a Christmas story, as an elf. And so I was encouraged right there at that moment. R.A., you've got to run with this. You really need to develop this.
Is there an elf in your life? Visit charcoaltheelf.com now.